One of the ways it's going to try and do that to fix inflation, it's going to do a couple of different things, and you can see them up here in this slide. It's going to stop printing money, going to pay off its debts. This is great when you see this happen, right? So here on the left, you've got the original amount of money that we have available. The government's going to stop printing money, so we're going to see a decline in how much money is available. It's going to pay off its debts, so even less money will be out in that economy. That's great. That's great. The amount of money's there. This is going to be awesome. This is going to lead to a decline in inflation. So that if you're looking at this little chart here, which shows us the price of goods rising over time as the value of the dollar falls, what's going to happen here is the government stops printing money and paying off debt. What's going to happen to this is that the value of the dollar will slowly, hopefully, bottom out, maybe even start to rise, right? And that over time, the price of goods will slowly level off and maybe even start to fall as the value of the dollar rises. But this is dangerous. It's dangerous. I want you to understand why that's dangerous. The problem with this is that because our government begins to enter the second industrial revolution and we're making more than ever before, now we have all these products that are out there that we actually want people to buy, right? Take a look, right? The last little line of this chart was that the value of all the goods made in the Industrial Revolution is now higher than the amount of money that we have left in our economy. So all of a sudden, people can't buy the stuff that we're making. So the government fixes it too much. The government takes too much money out of the economy. What it needed to do was balance it out and make sure that the amount of money in the economy was the same as the value of all the goods made in the second industrial revolution. But we don't do that. We mess it up. So we're producing more than there's an actual enough money to buy. That's a dangerous, dangerous thing. So what's that going to be? What's that going to be called? It's going to be called deflation. That's an increase in the value of money and a decrease in prices. And I showed you that in that little chart that I made over here, right? Where you start to see as the amount of money decreases, the price of goods will fall and the value of the dollar will rise because there's less of it out there, right? Because if money is harder to get, there's less of it around, its value is going to go up. If you have that happen just as businesses and farms are producing more, you're going to get something called deflation. And that's really, really hard on farmers because they're producing more, meaning their prices are going to fall, their profit margin is going to be less, and they're going to have to pay more in rail rates than, say, a large producer of a good. I put a graph here of what deflation looks like so you can understand why it's particularly dangerous. Lower prices for goods and services, right? Deflation, right? There is less money in the economy, so you're going to see a lowering of prices and an increase in the value of the dollar. Means there's not enough money out there for people to buy all those goods, especially dangerous for farmers because they're producing more. So they make less profit. That's what that smaller cash flow means. You're going to see if you're not getting to make as much or if you're not selling as much, you're going to reduce your production. You're going to stop hiring. You're going to lay off workers because you don't need to make as much. This is going to increase unemployment if you don't need workers to make as much. And if you increase unemployment, well, then people will have even less money to spend on goods and services because they're unemployed, so that oversupply will continuing to drive down prices, continuing to raise the value of the dollar, less profit, more layoffs, more unemployment, less spending, and on and on and on and on we go, and it's going to keep going around and around and around and around. Both of these things are really bad. Inflation and deflation are both really bad, right? Because if prices are rising faster than your income, it's going to be impossible to buy goods. But in deflation, if prices are falling but you've been laid off, you have no money, so you still can't afford to buy anything, no matter how low prices drop. It's going to be a really difficult situation to be in. And you can't fix this with tariffs, right? You can't fix this by stop printing money or paying off debt, because what you need to do is find a way to get more money into the economy. This is really going to upset farmers.